show you or teach you how to do a chakra balance. Okay, so remember, again, we're going to go over these. Chakras are energy centers along the body, and they correspond to the different locations along the spine. And each one is governed by a certain level of awareness. So as we move from the root or the base chakra to the crown, we move from the physical body to the highest self. And each chakra is connected to the others, and we feel out of sorts or unbalanced. They need assistance in returning us to that balance. So to do a full chakra balance is necessary to have a few things. Okay, let me see. All right, so a couple of items that you need. Well, you're going to need a chakra. You're definitely going to need a chakra kit, or at least 7 stones, one for each chakra. Now, if you're going to balance on yourself, then you really only need 1 root chakra stone. If you're going to do it on somebody else, you need 2, because it's just easier to put them on one on each hip than it's to drop them in between the legs and then ask them to retrieve them. It's just easier to do that. Okay, so you're going to need a chakra kit, 1 of each color, or like 2 root chakras, and then 1 of each of the other colors. Now, just remember that you want to make it at least 1 inch big, and the bigger the better, and you want to get the biggest ones that you can afford. A good chakra set will cost between $20 and $40. All right, and that's really a good investment if you're going to be doing this. Another thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a grounding stone. Okay, and here is this is one of my favorite pieces. This is a smoky quartz. It's a natural piece. As you can see, it's not polished or anything, right? And it has these dark inclusions in it, so it's really wonderfully grounding. Okay, you're going to need 1 of these, all right? And you're also going to need a place where you can lie down for about 30 minutes. And then also, you're going to need to hydrate. Okay, drink a full glass of water before you do this, because you're going to be opening up things that you're probably not used to being in. So if you don't drink water when you sit up, you're probably going to either pass out or get really dizzy. So you definitely want to have some water, and drink some water, and also have some water for yourself after the balance. Okay, so to do this on yourself, the first thing you're going to do is you can lie down on a chaise lounge, or you can use a recliner, or if you have a massage table, that's perfect. So you're going to take this grounding stone, and you're going to put it between your feet. And what that does is it's going to connect you to the Earth Star chakra, which grounds you and balances you. Okay, because you need that connection. If you don't connect, all right, then you're not going to be able to, it won't really work for you. All right, so let's see. Okay, so you want to, that's the first thing that you want to do. And then, of course, larger stones will work better than smaller ones. But if you have small stones, like if these stones, if you if you don't have one big enough like this, you can just use a handful of and then put them between your feet, and that works too. Okay. All right. So the first thing you want to do after you drink your water, okay, you put the stone in between your feet, and then have all your chakra stones next to you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in, I would say about 5 or 6 times, just to center yourself and to relax. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, and then you're going to imagine that your breath going all throughout your whole body. And then as you breathe out, you're going to imagine the breath going out through your feet, through the grounded crystal into the earth. And you're going to do that about 5 or 6 times, and that's going to steady you and it's going to center you. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take one of each stone. Now remember, you can use 1 second. I know in the first class, I have 2 red jasper little palm stones, and I put one on each hip. Okay, so that balances it out, and they're easier to take off. So you go ahead and you place crystal on each of the chakras. So you're going to place red, black, or brown stones on the root chakra. You're going to be placing an orange stone on the sacral. Here's a carnelian. All right, you're going to be placing yellow stones, all right, on your solar plexus. Here's a heat treated citrine. Okay, all right. The 4th chakra, there's a lot of different, of course, rose quartz. All right, okay, rose quartz. That goes on your chest, right in the center of your chest. The throat chakra, of course, you can use angelite. You can use any blue stone. You can use, excuse me, 6th chakra, you want to put lapis. And then the 7th chakra, you want to use a clear crystal or a quartz crystal. Okay, so you can put one of these at the top of your head, like especially if you're lying down, you just lay it right there on the pillow. All right, and then what you want to do is you want to just relax for about 15-20 minutes, and just, you can meditate, you can focus on the energy of each crystal, whatever it is you want. You can connect to your higher self. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but you definitely want to relax and really, really focus on the energy of the crystals. Okay. Now, once you do that, then if you're done and you feel like you're balanced, then you want to start from the crown and you want to take them off from the crown down. Okay. So you want to go, when you put them on, you want to go from the root up. And then when you take them off, you want to go from the crown down. Okay. And then after you do that, then you want to bring your awareness back by taking a few deep breaths, count to 5, open your eyes, and then sit up very slowly. Okay. Really slowly. Because what's going to happen is that you may be dizzy, and if you just stand right up, you might fall over. You don't want to do that after you've done all this beautiful work and then injure yourself by falling over. So please don't do that. Okay. Now, this should not be done more than about once a week, unless you're working on a specific chakra. And then you can do, like, say, if your root chakra is really severely out of balance, you could probably do it 2 or 3 times a week, just the root chakra, or you could just do a full balance. And then as you're taking the stones off, leave the ones that need extra attention, and then just, meditate on those for an extra couple of minutes, and then remove them from the top down. Okay, so there are a lot of good books and websites about the chakras, so you definitely want to consult those. Now, if you're doing it on somebody else, right? The best way to do it is if they're lying on their stomach, because your chakras are very close to your spine. But if not, if they feel more comfortable lying on their back, that's fine. Just make sure that the person, first of all, hydrates. Okay. And that when they lie down, you put the grounding stone in between their feet. And then you guide them through a little bit of a meditation in the beginning of breathing in, and then breathing out and exhaling and out through the feet to the Earth Star chakra, so that you're connected to Mother Earth. And then you want to do that about 5 or 6 times until they're relaxed. Okay. Now, one thing I wanted to say to you that I didn't mention because I didn't have them. I found my my favorite pendulum. Okay. Now, pendulums are really, really good for finding out where the imbalances are. And you can do this on yourself, but it's easier if somebody else does it. So what you want to do is, if you're standing to the side of somebody, let's say they're lying on a massage table, and you're standing to the side of them, okay? What you want to do is you want to hold the pendulum about 2 or 3 inches above the chakra, and the pendulum will start to swing, okay, like that. And if it swings about like that, it's pretty balanced. I mean, that's not going too fast. It has a good steady rhythm. If it's underactive, it's going to be more like this. Okay. And if it's overactive, it's going to be swinging like this. So you can barely see my pendulum. So, and then every once in a while, you might get one that goes the other way. That's scary, but it needs to be really worked on. Okay. Your chakras don't ever stop spinning. If they stop spinning, you're dead. Okay. So just remember that your chakras are not ever totally blocked. Okay. They're more like they're running on low. All right. They're running on an eighth of a tank instead of a full tank. So what you want to do is you want to just keep that in mind, that the chakras have their rhythm. Okay. So what you do then is, once your client or your loved one, if you're going to do this professionally, you need to get certification so that you have credibility. All right. I am a certified crystal healer, and this is what I do. This is one of the things that I do. So when you're holding you want to have a piece of paper and a pen, okay, with you, so that you can write like 1 through 7, and then you can write if it's over, under, or if it's balanced. Okay, so you get to the first chakra. Okay, first chakra might be a little sluggish. Okay, so you write under or U, and then you might get to another one and it's going pretty good. So you might write B for balance. And then if it's overactive, then you want to write O. And if it's going the wrong way, you want to write R for reverse. Okay. All right. Reverse is not good. Reverse is bad. Actually, it's a little scary when it happens to you the first time. It scared the hell out of me first time that happened to me. But you can, with doing things properly, you can affect the chakras by doing all the things that I mentioned earlier, plus doing balancing with the crystals, and you can get the chakra flowing in the right direction. I had a friend of mine who has throat cancer. Well, she has thyroid cancer. And the first time she laid down on my table, when I got to the throat was spinning in the wrong direction. And I was like, oh shit. Oh my God. You know, it really freaked me out. I mean, I didn't want to get all upset in front of her, but you know, that and it was obvious. The reason why is because she was dealing with thyroid cancer, and the thyroid gland is right here. Okay, it's right around your neck. So for 2 weeks, I had her come in 3 times a week to balance. And then I also made her a necklace of root chakra stones, because root chakra stones have a tendency to close down energy. Okay, so I made her a necklace of obsidian, black tourmaline, and snowflake obsidian, I think, and hematite. And she wore that every day for 2 weeks, plus the balancing, and then her chakra was spinning in the right direction. So then you have to keep up with that. So just remember, you have to keep up with that kind of thing, because once you get it balanced, you want to keep it that way. So you don't have to necessarily do a balance 3 times a week, but if you can wear some jewelry, that will help. Or if you can just, keep a crystal with you, that will help to keep you balanced. That's a really great idea. All right. So when you find out which ones are over and under and all that kind of stuff, first you want to do a regular balance. Okay, you want to start off with the root chakra, and you want to go root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. So you want to do a normal layout, okay, where you place the root chakra stones. You want to place all the other ones going from the root to the crown. Let them balance for about 15-20 minutes. And then you're going to remove the ones that are not in either excess or under. Okay. Once you determine which are over or under, then you can put the correct stones on there. So remember what I was saying earlier in my previous lesson, where if you take a piece of paper and you draw a little stick figure and you go put a line through the crown, the third eye, the throat, and you put a line through each one, and you write the proper crystals, okay? And then you connect the bottom one all the way to the top. All right, so you're going to go from the root and you're going to draw a line all the way to the crown, okay? And then you're going to go from the solar plexus, excuse me, the sacral, and you're going to go to the third eye. And then you're going to go from the solar plexus and you're going to go to the throat. All right. So if they're overactive, then you want to use the antidote or the opposite or complement. So that's why you draw the line. So let's say that your third eye is overactive, because a lot of people, when they first learn how to open their third eye, they don't know how to close it. So it's always going, nee, nee, and that's where you get the third eye headache from. So you definitely don't want to do that. So what you want to do is you want to take a carnelian and you want to put it there. Okay. All right. Then you want to use the carnelian. But you want to start from the root up. So if you have a couple of imbalances, if it's underbalanced, if it's sluggish, then you want to use the correct stone. If it's overactive, you want to use the opposite or complement. Okay. So this way you can close down that excess and you can open up the ones that are sluggish. So on your second balance, so your first balance is going to be a full chakra balance with the correct stones. The second one, you're going to use the ones that you need to treat the specific crystals that you need to balance your chakras. Okay. And then after that, you leave those on for about 10 minutes. You're going to remove from the crown down, and then you're going to retest with your pendulum. Now, some people use their hands to go over the chakras and they feel different things, like you might feel energy or heat or something that you can tell. But with the pendulum, I find it's very accurate because you can tell whether it's over or underactive really fast just by looking at how it spins. Okay, and then you want to take your pendulum again, and then you want to start from the root, and you want to go through the chakras and see if they're balanced. Okay, and then a lot of times they will be, sometimes they won't be, but that means that you need to do more balancing. So you might send your friend or your loved one home with a couple of crystals that they can use, and they can use at home. You can tell them about how to energize their chakras. So you can do all of that. Okay. And then the next time they come, you want to take your pendulum and check it again. Now, hopefully they'll be balanced. If not, you just start the process over again. You do a full balance, and then you do your individual ones, either with the right stone for the sluggish ones, or the ones that are spinning the wrong direction. Okay, and you want to use the biggest ones that you got for those. Okay, you definitely want to use the largest crystals that you can if they're spinning their own direction or if they're sluggish. And then you use the right colored stones for the ones that are excessive, and you just continue on until you get balanced. And you can help your customers, your clients, or your friends, or your loved ones. I mean, you feel so good after a chakra balance. So that's how you do that. Now, also remember, after you balance and you put all the crystals and you take them off from crown to root, okay, you want to make sure that you bring them back. So you want to have them breathe deeply for 5 or 6 times to bring them back, to, get them out of la la land, because that's where they're going to be. So a lot of times they fall asleep. So you have to wake them up so they can get up. So you definitely want to have them breathe and then open their eyes and then help them sit up. Don't let them stand up right away, because believe me, this is just, you feel like you're out there in the ether when you come back from a chakra balancing. And so if you're not really, really tuned into your body, you're probably going to fall over or at least lose your balance. So you want to help them stand up and give them water, let them drink some more water. And then if you want, you can have them hold on to the crystal that was in between their feet, okay, the balancing chakra, the root chakra, and that will also help. All right, so that's how you do that. And then you can do these if you're going to do it therapeutically, you can do it up to 3 times a week. Excuse me, until the chakras are balanced. And then after that, you may want to maintain it like once a month or so. Have them come back and do a balance once a month. And then if they're unbalanced, you can just start the process over again. All right, so that's pretty much how you do that. So I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope you got a lot out of it. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. And I thank you so much. So, oh, and I do want to talk to you a little bit here. Let me see. Um, I am going to be developing some classes. I know I mentioned to you a couple of times. I would like to have an empath support group, okay, uh, so that people who are empaths are struggling can learn how to get more control over how their thoughts and their feelings. Another thing I want to do is I want to deal with the dark night of the soul, which is your strong emotions coming up. Everybody's been going through that. Everybody's going through that right now. So if you feel like you're just your anger is coming up and you don't know where it's coming from, or you can't understand why you're being, why all these strong emotions are coming up, you don't know what to do with them. There's a lot of things that you can do to overcome them, not overcome them, but more like um, deal with them, acknowledge them, stop ignoring them, and stop repressing them. Because when you repress them, see, what happens is your subconscious that's where all your emotions are, and all your everything you've ever lived through stored in your subconscious. And when you have a triggering event that brings up these powerful emotions, now you may have an altercation with a spouse or a loved one or somebody, but it's not really about them. It's more about what they triggered in you. And so these strong emotions need to be dealt with, because what happens is they're kept in a vault in the subconscious, but there's no lock on the vault. And so what happens is the vault every once in a while opens up, because it's like the door burst open and your powerful emotions come out. And so what happens is you have to deal with them. And so if you push them back inside, they're going to go back in, and they may go away for a while, but they're going to come back stronger with a vengeance. And there may be a time where you may be in public and you're with people, and it's going to be a really, really inappropriate display of emotions. So you really need to deal with them. And so that's what I would like to do with you. And there's a lot of ways that we can do these things. And then I also would like to do a once a month reading. I am also a crystal reader, a certified crystal reader. And so what I do is I have a tray of crystals, and I pick out about 6 of them for a customer or a client or somebody who wants a reading, friend or whatever. And I put together a story, and they're like scary accurate. They really hit the nail on the head, and they usually tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear or want to hear. Just to give you an example, I had a client. This is back in March. Excuse me. And what happened is that I had it was a hairdresser. Well, two clients. They worked together. And one of them went first, and she had an awesome reading. Everything was spot on, right on. I mean, she just like tripped. We both tripped out on it. That's how closely accurate it was. And then the second one I got, the second one I did a reading for, and this one blue magnesite kept going. I mean, she picked that out right away out of the tray. There, I have like 43 crystals in the tray, and she picked that right out, and she wouldn't let it go. I mean, it's just, it was there to tell her something. It was there to give her a message. And blue magnesite is a kind of crystal that will ask you whether you have people in your life that are either addictive, in addictive behaviors or bad behaviors. And so what happened was all the other crystals were basically telling her that she needs to let go and to forgive and all that kind of stuff. And that makes sense when you have an intense intense issue with somebody. And so, but she wouldn't hear it because she was so focused on having me tell her about. See, she had gotten a reading a couple of weeks ago before my reading, and the reader was using tarot cards, and you get a very different reading when you use tarot cards. So the tarot card actually brought up a lawsuit that she was going through, and so because the tarot reader brought up a lawsuit without her mentioning it, she thought that it was right on. And so that was what she was using as a measurement to how accurate my reading was. And so she completely missed her reading because she was so focused on that, she wouldn't allow the crystals to give her the advice that she was looking for. So a lot of times the crystals are spot on. I mean, they are. I've never had a crystal reading where it wasn't accurate. So that's what I would like to do once a month. And so those are the kind of things that I'd like to do coming up. So please keep, keep abreast of what I'm doing. And I'm still going to be here 3 o'clock every Wednesday if I can. And I would love to go through some of that stuff with you. So anyway, again, I am Karen Squillante, and I invite you to come into Nature's Alchemy, where we explore natural healing with crystals, plants, and herbalism, essential oils, and the many ways that Mother Earth provides for our healing and well-being. Oh, also, if you guys know of anybody who would like to be a guest on my show that might have some interesting things to talk about, I think that would be a lot of fun. So please let me know in the comments, and I'll be glad to do that. Okay, and so that's it. And have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.